The angels say, when you're in the pit of despair, turn on the lights. Yeah, they really said that. Stick around and they'll explain to you what that is all about. Hi, I'm Deborah Lupien, voice of the Akashic Records. Today, you're invited to join me on a short vision journey out of your body into the clouds. Then, as we return to Earth, the angels will share a powerful lesson on how to turn on the lights and avoid the pit of despair. The vision. As we begin, you may choose to sit back, close your eyes, and take a couple of deep centering breaths, or not, whatever feels best for you. Now, as you sit totally relaxed, imagine yourself standing on a carpet of green, glorious grass, twirling in the warm sunshine. The lush, soft grass cushions and tickles your bare feet. Your entire body is flooded with well-being, celebrating the joy of simply being alive. Joy is the feeling that permeates this day. And in the background, you hear the soundtrack. I've got that joy, 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 and so on. As you happily dance to the music, more and more joy pulses through your heart, as if joy is boundlessly flowing out through your pores. You go on spinning and dancing until finally you fall to the ground, breathless, with a huge grin on your face. As you lie there, looking up at the fluffy cumulonimbus clouds floating by, a plane comes into view, interrupting your reverie as it flies across the sky from left to right. The next moment, you're transported right into the sky, bringing you level with the plane. In an instant, you notice a female passenger pressing her face against the window. And she's screaming for help. Why is she screaming? What's going on? Why are you being shown this disturbing vision? All of the answers will come in time. The plane continues on, leaving you hanging in the air with only questions in its wake. No sooner does that thought process than the plane shifts into a steep upward climb, as if it's aiming to fly above all the clouds. This aircraft was not designed for such challenges. The body strains and shakes as it struggles against the increasing G-forces. Suddenly, there's a pop, like a firecracker, and the plane explodes. Flaming plumes shoot out like 4th of July fireworks. Seconds later, pieces of fuselage drop like rocks to the ground below. Some, still smoldering, set the dry brush on fire. Everything is happening rapidly now, like you're in some sort of time warp. From a distance, You hear sirens as emergency responders and fire trucks rush in. While the fire is quickly extinguished, the recovery of bodies will take much longer. At this point, you must avert your eyes away from the scattered body parts, as it's too horrific to comprehend. Was the crash sabotage or an accident? The woman's screaming points to a deliberate act. But why was it necessary for you to witness this tragedy? What are you to do or learn from this experience? It's then you notice yourself floating gently down until your feet are once more securely resting upon terra firma and that glorious lush grass. Translating the vision. Visions are always purposeful, and this one is no exception. There's a great deal of anxiety and outright fear permeating your world. Even experienced spiritual travelers may find themselves caught up in negativity and devastation. It's always our purpose to help you find your way through so that you might stay on your life path. The woman on the plane could have been you or anyone. She represents that feeling of being out of control, taken for a ride with calamitous results. One event that wreaked havoc, impacting many lives. This vision is a reminder of the interconnectedness of humanity, powerfully demonstrating that your thoughts and actions have the power to ripple out, impacting many others who are similarly attuned. Never forget, when it's clear that you're on the wrong path, one that leads to nowhere good, it would be folly to continue thusly, no matter what anyone tells you. Making your own well-being a priority is essential to staying on your empowered, love-filled path. Don't underestimate your power. Disempowering circumstances are an illusion. You are not powerless, for you can disembark the metaphorical plane at any time or even choose not to get on at all. In the moment, when you feel helpless, you are the most powerful, for it is then that you awaken to the realization that you are free to make a different choice. Paying attention to those feelings and acting upon them before they reach the explosive stage would do yourself and others a great service. Tune in, tap in, and take action on a regular basis. Let me repeat that. On a regular basis. Staying connected can save you from a world of hurt. Testing. Always be testing. Make an adjustment, see how it feels, then make a choice. Stay the course or make another adjustment. And so it goes, as your reality is creating one empowered choice after another. However, you must be tuned in to recognize when a course correction is called for. If you're not tuned in, you'll likely miss the signs and stray further and further off course, sometimes rushing headlong into dire consequences. Practice and learn from your experiences until all that is needed is an occasional, gentle course correction. Do you now see how that would result in a much less stressful journey? Get in the habit of being in the moment, being aware, and measuring choices against results to determine the next course of action, which is usually stay the course or alter it. Simplify. When you distill your reality down to the basics, it really is quite simple. Life only feels complicated when you ignore the signs and continue down a calamitous path. The further off course you stray, the more dramatic an intervention is required to get your attention. That might be illness, emotional or physical harm, even economic disaster. If you fail to learn to make empowered choices, eventually you'll stray so far off course that it'll take something dramatic like a plane crash to bring your awareness back to the place where you can make new empowered choices. Or, as happens entirely too often, you may find yourself caught up in a series of downward progressions until you feel so mired in the pit of despair that there's nothing left to do but surrender. Now, understand that even in the deepest pit of despair, there is still hope and possibility. It will just be harder to break free to take positive action. An example of massive resistance. If your will is strong, you can overcome anything. But it may be like that steep climb of the plane where it strained and shook until it exploded from struggling to do something it was not built for. A visceral example of massive resistance. We want you to understand and take positive action before self-destructing. Just as while driving a vehicle, regular adjustments of the steering wheel are required to stay the course, sometimes minute, sometimes larger. Use that same principle to course correct your life so that you'll avoid traveling so far off course as to become lost. Choice reigns supreme. You can choose to advocate for yourself, making empowered choices, or you can choose to surrender and allow life to toss you about, leaving your fate in the hands of others and random chance. We ask you, which feels better? We, your angels, are always available to assist. You don't have to drown while we're on the job, ready, willing, and able to provide a lifeline. Know it, trust it, believe it. Then all you need do is look for the line and hold it tightly as we pull you back from the precipice, or even from deep within the pit of despair. Yes, we really can do that, but you have to ask. Being real. Just because a message feels a bit dark, that doesn't make it any less relevant. We want you to understand that sometimes your lives are dark, and to ignore that and force yourself into a pool of sunlight is not the answer. You are far better served by fully seeing and acknowledging the situation. Then make conscious choices from that perspective. If you force yourself into false gaiety, you'll not be in a position to clearly see the best options. See the truth, then make an empowered choice. Clarity and angel assistance are key to finding your way back to the light, step by step, choice by choice, hauling you out of the pit, back onto solid ground, until you once more find yourself basking in healing, empowering light. In conclusion, you can, of course, make entirely different choices. We just want to offer alternatives that, in our estimation, would be easier. The trick is finding some small thing that feels better and move towards it. Then look for another and another until you've replaced the dark pit with divine light. That is the way you rescue yourself, with an angel assist, of course. Occasionally, you may be able to pull yourself out of the pit all at once, but far more often, the successful method is one step at a time, much like other achievements in life. At times, your life may feel as if you're walking a tightrope. Those feelings are certainly valid, but what we want you to see is that we are your safety net, supporting your efforts to climb out of the depths. Together, we're an unbeatable team. Always and forever, your angel team. Thank you, angels, for your love and support. We deeply appreciate you. And thank you for being here, for listening, for being a part of creating a better tomorrow. Until next time, this is Debbra Lupien, voice of the Akashic Records. Bye.